Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Forex.Today. Let me remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results, but please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, never risk money cannot afford to lose. Hey, good morning. How are you? My name is Wayne McDonald. I am a currency trader. Yep, it's true. Been doing this a very long time. Still love it. It's still pretty cool. We can trade directly into currencies, but we can also sort of indirectly trade things like gold and oil and the stock market and the bond market, global trade, all that kind of stuff, because if it crosses a border, it's going to move the value of the money. So whatever we're trading, it's all good for us. So anyways, welcome to Forex.Today. Please subscribe. There's 16,500 traders just like you, part of our Forex community. So please subscribe, please like, please comment, please ask questions, please take notes, write things down, leave comments on the recordings. In particular, it'd be great if you could document the things that your takeaways from each one of these meetings so that you can search them. But ultimately, I'm here to teach you how to put together trade plans, how to plan out this New York session, maybe plan out the rest of the week, plan out the rest of the month, so on and so forth. So thank you for being here. You're a trader, so you're going to need a broker. Traders Way is a great broker. They support our community. They also offer you MT4, MT5, fixed spread accounts, variable spread accounts, ECN accounts, fast execution speed, right? Small spreads, wide swaps, world-class customer service. So thank you very much, Traders Way. So I recommend you visit tradersway.com, open up a demo account, and try them out and give them an opportunity to earn your loyalty and respect. There's a link in the description below, by the way. So thank you for being here, everybody. One of the things I wanted to start out with here in the beginning is I was doing some research over the weekend, because that's what the Wayne do. And MSCI is a stock index of global stock indices. And of course, if these things are moving, then most likely currencies are moving. So, right? No referral link. That's how you know I'm legit. Well, if you're spamming us, then how could you be legit? By the way, the link to Traders Way below is not a referral link, so you'll see it just sends you to the website, no tracking. Okay, anyways, there's some good research here, and I thought maybe you want to check it out. Okay, I like how they break it down here. Okay, it's very good for you guys to take a look at. MSCI.com. I saw it and I thought about you. So there isn't anything specific, but hey, man, we trade globe, right? We trade macro, and this is going to give you access to some information that might help. So anyways, take a look. Oh, okay, cool. I just wasn't sure what you're saying, Born. All right. So here we are. Oh, before we start our trip around the world, let's quickly do a calendar. I covered the calendar at Off the Charts with Wayne McDonald, but we had some technical glitches for YouTube. So let's just quickly do it again. One of the things I wanted to point out is that there's a lot of central bank speeches this week. And they're right? The other thing I wanted to point out is that this is a shortened trading week. So I'll be here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. There's no webinar Thursday or Friday, and I don't think you should be trading Thursday or Friday. For one thing, nobody in the United States will be trading on Thursday. And really on Friday, the stock market will be open a half a day, but not real trading. Plus, both those days, I believe banks are closed. So very, very, very I can't say dangerous, treacherous waters, but you have to realize that your technical analysis, which is a self-fulfilling prophecy, just might not self-fulfill because you're the only one on the planet trading. So be very careful. I want to get that out. Okay. Lots of central banking speeches today. Lots of central banking speeches tomorrow. FOMC meeting minutes. Great Britain's autumn forecast statement, And then ECB, oh yeah, on Thursday when no Americans are around, ECB has a big thing, and so does Great Britain. So a lot of sort of fundamentals coming out, not necessarily news releases, but some fundamentals to throw things out there. So you want to pay attention to like the Bank of England. You know, what are they saying? What is the RBA saying? Are they changing their points of view? For example, RBNZ. It's not what's going to be in the financial statement because that's mostly backward looking with a little forward guidance. But it's what happens if they're during the speech. If there is a Q&A, they might tell us, quote unquote, the truth, and not something they've prepared, right? So, anyways, all that's really cool. Going through the week, I don't really care about PMI that much. I do care about these central banking meetings. German GDP, yeah, we just want less bad, but GDP is so backwards looking that it may not be that important. But again, one of the things we discussed at Off the Charts with Wayne McDonald yesterday was you should be in the process right now of building your own GDP model in the current or even projecting in the future, where all of this is backward looking. So what was productivity like 3 months ago? Well, who cares? Okay. So out on Wednesday, the last real day of the week, PCE, which is important because the Fed uses PCE, not CPI. GDP, okay, so that's all interesting. Durable goods, not really interested. And then the FOMC meeting minutes, of course. Okay. Now on Thursday, early Thursday morning, this ECB stuff and the UK stuff, yeah, this stuff's important. Unfortunately, no one in America is going to see it, so maybe that'll be muted. But nonetheless, something that should be accessed and analyzed. So anyways, all of this is available at Forex.Today. Also, if you want the Commitment of Traders report, that's also available at Forex.Today. If you're interested in that, doing your research on large institutional open positions, by all means, Forex.Today. Alrighty, so where are we now in the process? We have yen that seems to be weakening. We have dollar that seems to be weakening, and we have Swiss franc that seems to be weakening. Very good. Okay. Pound heading up, Kiwi heading up, and then everything else sort of down or flat. So one of the things, again, I guess it sounds like a plug, but yesterday at Off the Charts with Wayne McDonald, does anyone have the link to that, by the way? I guess maybe it's so bad, but we talked about why I'd be betting on pound going up. Here, let me just do it this way. HTTP : is that too many T's? HTTP. Anyways, so for those Sunday afternoon virtual trader events, so we get together on not every Sunday, but many Sundays to smoke cigars, drink whiskey, and talk shop. I typically go through the calendar. I typically go through Barron's magazines. We typically laugh at how stupid professional fund managers are, even though they make millions of dollars a year. That's our typical play, and it's enjoyable. But the most important thing is I do it an hour and a half before the market opens. So now after hanging out with the group for an hour and a half, boom, the market opens and you're at your computer already. So that's the major benefit. So anyways. All right, so that's good. So yeah, I want yen to weaken. I want dollar to weaken. I'm not actually trading Swiss franc this year. So that's that. So what currency pairs would you like me to cover today? Yeah, I'm not saying watch the replay. I'm saying subscribe so that you can do the next one when there's no echo. I don't know what the echo was. I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was. Pound dollar, pound yen, pound dollar, CAD. Interesting. Okay, CAD is sideways. But okay. Aussie dollar, yen pairs, gold. Well, why don't we start with commodities and then maybe we'll work our way over to the pound. A lot of people wanted pound. Okay. So I've been teaching you most of last week on how to trade oil. Did you guys find that helpful? These are the examples here of me showing you not just buying, but when to buy oil. And the other thing about it is buying it, but in a few hours getting much of the market. Right? So hopefully that's been helpful. Yep. Okay, good. So I don't know what you want to do now. If you were a bull here, 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 and here, you're probably getting ready to be bullish. So you want to use tools that would help you find support. Okay. You might also want to watch midpoint cycle levels and daily pivots. Okay. So one of the things you could do, for example, is open up your indicator here. Okay. Obviously, you're on a Friday front run here, but too late if you didn't front run it. Now you got to day trade it. Okay. Okay. So here's your Friday front run, swing trade, day trade. So that's Sunday. Right? So now you're really setting up tomorrow, which is buying it, maybe if you're lucky, 42.50. The top end looks more like 48. Did I say 48? Sorry, 42. 42.68. 42.83 is your first op. Ideally, though, you can have it come down and touch 42.50. It's just pretty. Warren is saying omnidirectional versus uni. Cool. Makes sense. Yesterday, I was using a lav mic because I sit outside. And I had a monitor in my ear. Daniel asks a standard question. Hey, Wayne, I'm thinking about taking profit. Well, what was your plan? Is it a good idea? I don't know. How would I know when you want to take profit? Okay, I mean, I'm being a little facetious, but at the end of the day, you took the shot. I don't know what your target was. So I can't help you there. Dwayne says, it went back through the day trading course and the swing trading course. What a good refresher. Yeah, good time to sharpen the saw. Okay, so, yeah, good. We don't have it here. Let's take a look at this one. I showed you Brent crude, what, a month ago? What did I show you as far as currencies? What did I show you to trade if you think Brent crude is going up? This is Brent. Hang on, hasn't kicked in. What did I show you? What currency did I show you? No, I know what you're saying, Daniel. I can read through it, but I ask people to actually write out a contract with themselves. so that it was very clear what you wanted to do. So I don't know what your contract was, right? So that's it. I mean, there's no answer. I don't know. You have to understand that. I don't know where you should take profit. It's not, A, I don't know your plan, but B, I don't know where the top is. So the answer is Noki for Brent crude. Norwegian kroner. So let's go over there, take a look at that. Yeah, I know you have some doubts, so maybe deal the best with it as you can. Try to get a learning experience, and it'll be something that you carry forward and define who you are. So my opinion is not going to be helpful. It'll actually be a detriment. If I'm making the decisions, then I'm the man. You know, I want you to be the man. And I'm not saying you're not the man. I'm just saying it's part of your learning experience, and it's important for you to make the decision. And, you know, live by the sword, die by the sword kind of thing. And learn from it. Make sure you write down why did you make the decision. And then after, go back and analyze it. Do you think it was the right decision? Do you think it was the wrong decision? Was it a reasonable decision? And how would you like to treat a similar situation in the future? I'd answer those questions. You know, it's almost a trauma thing. Yeah, anyways, it's almost a trauma thing. I want to get in a story, but then I'm like, no, that's too strong of a story. Anyways, so isn't this interesting? During that same period of Brent going up, we got our Noki. Now, I believe we started talking about it when USD Noki was way up here. Okay, this is the M3, which predicts green zone as a target. Okay, isn't that interesting though? Yes, Daniel, you got it. Yeah, it's experience, right? You're going to make mistakes. The type of mistakes that you might want to make is, you know, you took 1,000 pips today, and it was the wrong decision. You're like, damn it, I only made 1,000 pips, right? You're just going to have to learn and make the mistakes and have the victories. A lot of people don't learn from their victories and their mistakes. They just sort of exist. So I need you to be more than that. Okay. All right. So anyways, M3 says down here, and then if you've gone through, like Dwayne's gone back and did the day trading course and redid the swing trading course, we know that this tells us take profit. Okay? Just technically. Fundamentally, you might overrule that, but that's not, you can't use technicals to analyze your fundamentals, right? What's up, T-Dog? All right, so now this, if you recall, not on this pair, but on other pairs, is, you know, are you going to get back in? Are you going to get back in? Are you going to get back in? What's your end game for the end of the year? And I think this is harder than anything because I prepared not just this, but all the other pairs, right? I prepared you guys very, very well, in my humble opinion, for November. Okay? There must be 10 or 15 or 20 of you guys that have contacted me and you're like, man, I made thousands and thousands of pips this month. All right, you're welcome. But I didn't prepare you as much for this because you need to make the decision. How to trade this is that's your year-end game. Okay, I set you up on my year-end game here. What's your year-end game here? And I think it's more difficult to get back in, especially if I'm not pushing you in, right? So now the interesting thing is, okay, as long as crude goes up, this should go down, in particular Brent crude, because Norway and the UK share the North Sea oil, and Brent is North Sea oil. So if Brent goes up, this should go down. Cool. Now, I also asked you last week to go through the EIA, IEA, and OPEC websites so that you would have the strength to do this. Okay? What's up, Gary? Hey, Gary, my neighbor came over and he said someone dropped something off. Amazon dropped this package off at our place, but it's yours, and he was dropping it off. And I'm like, and then he apologized. He's like, I think we've had it a week or so. I don't really know. I've been on vacation. I'm like, my God, you went on vacation? I hope you had a nice vacation. And then I'm like, so where'd you go? He spent 2 weeks in Jamaica. Like, really? Is the Caribbean open? Like, my neighbor was in Jamaica for 2 weeks. What about COVID? Was he isolated? Like, how do you get back on a plane? I'm like, are the tourists back, Gary? Are they hitting up St. Lucia again? I thought everything was basically still shut down. Like, my neighbor spent 2 weeks in Jamaica. Nut. What a nut. But I didn't think you could travel internationally. I thought the Caribbean was generally shut down. I know it's slowly opening, but I think once you get there, you're not allowed to leave your hotel. But I think Jamaica's been that way for a while, right? You go to Jamaica, but you never leave your hotel. But still, I was a little surprised. Yeah. So anyways, interesting. All right, so here we go. Anyways, guys, okay? This was based on the research that you did. Remember, the thing that gives you strength is how well you're prepared. Benjamin's sister's in Mexico right now. No mask, no distancing, normal stuff. I canceled my Mexican vacation. I showed you guys that I was staying at a nice little place in Mexico. I think we had it set up for February. So I canceled that. Okay. Is it forming support on the right? Well, Peter, there's two ways of looking at this. One, if you're a bull, which means you believe Norway is going to lose value, we move into a risk-off mode and the dollar gains strength, then you're going to look at this way. I don't know if that's going to happen. I just don't know. But if you were a bull on this, you would definitely be preparing for that. Bears, however, Peter, are looking for the lower low. So this is kind of a terrible place to sell now. But like I was saying, back when we were doing this, I was preaching. I preached to teach. I was preaching that you need to do your research on future demand of oil. Again, EIA, IEA, OPEC websites. I brought them all up. I showed them in front of everybody. I'm like, this is the type of research you need to do so that you have strength and conviction to stick with your trade. Like, wow, holy crap, right? Smack in the face. So you either shorted this because you had the strength of conviction, because you're so well prepared, not because, gosh darn it, people like you. No, because you're so well researched. Right? You see what I mean? So if that's you, you're on this because you think there's future demand. Okay? So are you following OPEC research? How about that MSCI I brought up for you today? If you do research there, why would you do that? Well, do you think global productivity and economic growth will improve in 2021, 2022, and 2023? And if so, what will that do for the demand for commodities? What will that do for the demand of products and services and trade amongst countries around the world? Like, are you doing that research or not? Or are you watching Fox Business talk about how Biden stole the election? Like, where do you focus your time? Okay? That's why I show MSCI. Take a look at it. Have an opinion. What is the world going to do the next few years? Open up EIA, IEA, and OPEC. Where is the demand going to be? So are you following those headlines? Did you see that OPEC is going to continue cutting production? Oh, well, then Norway is going to go up in value. But you already know that. You would have traded it last week. How many people want to spend 2021 watching the value of wheat and soybeans? Let's see if I can do something on the fly here. I know the Hurricane Center has some of this stuff. That's not what I want. Water temperature, mouth sound. I need bigger than this. I need bigger. Hawaiian coast. I need bigger. It's just the United States. I need global. All cold. Oh, that's not global. All right. Same crap. I want the globe. That's not real time. Here's what I'm getting to. Okay, this is what I'm getting to. Ocean water in the Pacific equator has dropped by 1%. Not permanently, just this year. So, right? Soybean and corn are going to go up next year. Wheat a little bit, just because everything is going to go up. Okay? Done. See, I don't watch Fox Business. I don't care if Biden stole the election. I just want to make money. I'm a capitalist, not a democratic. I guess democracy is okay. But I love capitalism way more than I love democracy. Okay? No, it's not La Nina, though. It's El Nino. La Nina comes from an increase in ocean temperatures. This one is a decrease. It's actually cooled off. Okay? Okay? Daniel wants to know, hey, he just pulled it up on Google. How do you know all of this, and how do you know when to do all of this? I learned it 20 years ago living in California. But the thing is, right? But the thing is, people just don't do this. It's so obvious. So right now, options on things like soybeans and corn and wheat should be at record highs. Professional traders should see this coming, that there's going to be a massive shortage of soybeans and corn in the near future, and they should be hedging their bets, and they're not. They're not smart enough. These are the professionals. And we can casually talk about it here, but that's the type of research that I want. I like doing. I like, oh, by the way, there's going to be bigger hurricanes next year than this year. So, and typically, because, do I still have an image here? Typically, because of the nature here, you see the cold temperatures here, and this is America and Mexico, Central America, South America. So if you carry this across to the other ocean, to the Atlantic side now, because this is the Pacific, there's sort of it's not the same, but let's just say a similar phenomenon. Not necessarily colder, might actually be warmer, but there's going to be sort of at least some sort of effect in the Atlantic Ocean that will not only not increase the number of hurricanes next year, but we'll get whatever number we get, but they probably have more. They're going to be even more powerful. So get ready, St. Lucia, right? Like Gary, start getting the material that is in short supply after a massive hurricane goes over. So whatever material you need, lumber, hammers, Velcro, like all these random things that might be super important. Start like building those supplies up, because if a hurricane goes past you next year, it's going to be bigger than normal. Okay? And here's the other thing. It comes in farther south. So that means it's going to come through the Eastern Caribbean and it's going to slam into Mexico and then probably sit on top of Mexico. And it might not even go in the Gulf of Mexico. If it goes into the Gulf of Mexico, then we know we need to buy oil futures. Now, typically, if it comes in high, it'll hit Florida. They're not going to hit Florida next year. So we don't need to worry about frozen concentrated orange juice or buying Lowe's and Home Depot. So most likely, it's going to hit Mexico, sit on top of the mountains, and flood like crazy. So there's going to be landslides in Mexico next year. Okay? But Eastern Caribbean, stock up now. See? We're putting these things in line. Do I know that's going to happen? No, but you should know this, okay? And so at least go through. So this is La Nina, and then we need El Nino. Okay? So anyways, take a look at it, and it might impact what we do next year. You're welcome. Yeah, young guns, it might sit on... Right, so Jamaica is right below Cuba, so it could sit, because Cuba is quite a big island, right? So it could be caught between, under Cuba and Mexico to the west, and yeah, it could, yeah, I don't think it would be good. Well, yeah, like Gary, it's amazing, like, when you go, like when I go to the grocery store, 2 weeks before Halloween, I'm like, who's going to buy all these Halloween decorations for $14.95? If you buy it the day after Halloween, right, you can buy it for 80% off. And then why buy Christmas stuff right before Christmas? Just wait till after Christmas and then buy everything for 80% off, because it's pretty sure there's going to be Christmas the next year, right? Like you should always buy stuff after. So soon as the island recovers from the hurricane, start stocking up hurricane stuff, because I'm pretty sure there's going to be another hurricane. Daniel says, developed a fear of fake news. Well, that's atmospheric pressures and ocean temperatures. And what that does, Daniel, is it changes the flow of energy. And of course, by energy, I mean weather. Okay? So if you change where it rains, right? So wet places can become dry places can become wet, and it just gets all gobbledygook. Okay? So I'm saying you should do the science. Don't watch CNN, right? Just, we need to, by the time it's on the news, the play is already dead. It's been arbitraged out. So what I'm saying is, it looks like this might happen next year, and professional investors in the market have not hedged, which means you're ahead of the curve, or I'm ahead of the curve. Okay, so I'm thinking about weather next year, right? There is a cycle of El Nino and La Nina. I'll give you one example that I remember when it comes to La Nina, El Nino, which one it was. But this guy, his dream was to kayak from California to Hawaii. Okay? In the ocean. Kayak. By himself. No boats following him. Just he's going to do it. So he's got his little kayak and he can fish, and he's got a sail on it. Right? I think a wind sail and a current sail. And that helps him kayak. And, let me remind you, it's 4,000 miles, maybe 5,000 miles in the open ocean by himself. So he gets about halfway out into the Pacific Ocean, right? 2,500 miles from land. And then, boom, the wind stopped. Boom, the current in the ocean shifted. And he was out there floating like a cork in a bathtub, going nowhere. And he's like, snap, I wish I listened to Wayne and learned all about El Nino. And he was just like out there, just going nowhere, just floating, just bobbing up and down. You can swing your little paddles and stuff, but dude, okay. So, yeah. So I'm thinking about weather next year. I'm thinking about macroeconomic development next year and global trade. So on Friday, I attended a webinar done by Wall Street Journal's Frontier Research Division. So they did research on emerging markets and frontier markets and did like multi-year growth projections. But one of the things they also did was pre-COVID, post-COVID, and analyzing, okay, all the major economies and some frontier emerging economies, GDP levels before COVID, current GDP levels, but based on their analysis of each individual economy, projected when they felt that those economies would get back to pre-COVID GDP levels. And they broke it out. How fast will Vietnam recover? How fast will China recover? How fast will the United States and Canada and Australia recover? How fast until South Africa gets back to 2019 GDP levels? Where's Japan in all of this? And they broke it out. Many, many, many more countries like that. Because I'm thinking 2, 3, 4 years ahead. One of the things we discussed in the swing trading group last week was, is this the Great Reset? That would influence how I deploy my capital. Okay? Right? So that's why I'm sort of thinking, or how I'm thinking ahead and how I'm making decisions. Okay? So once again, are you doing the research to say you have the conviction and the strength to re-enter an oil trade based on your macroeconomics analysis of future demand, but also current supply? Well, right now, supply looks like it's being cut, and maybe next year and the year after, demand will go up. So this is supply, this is demand. So supply is being cut, demand is going up. This should be going this way. You're making money, honey. Or you're floating in the middle of the Pacific Ocean like a cork, going nowhere. One or the other. Euro dollar. We move here. So I bought it at the market open. I'll move my stop to break even. And maybe it's just easier to do it this way. Okay. What do you think? Good trade? I know, right? So now looking at this, great. So that's euro dollar. There's 2 trades. Here's another trade. What am I sitting on here? 1,615 pips. So that's more than 2 weeks ago. Yay! Nice! Nice! Cool. So that's that. So how about pound dollar? Pickety pound, pickety pound. Okay. Okay. Up, 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 down, down, buy, up, 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 down, down. This is again the conversation. Are you going to get back in? 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 Said it 10,000 times. Are you getting back in? What's going to put you in? Are you thinking about it? Where's your end game? Where are you going to be at the end of the year? I talked about it over and over and over and over. Boom! higher. Okay? So if you had the strength and conviction to get back in, you got in. Okay? Remember, I was not telling you what to do here. I was asking you questions and having you sit and think about it. This, I was telling you what to do. This one, I'm like, you need to make decisions. Okay? And yes, we were talking about using December pivots. Do you guys remember that? December pivots in the middle of November. Okay? So there's that one. Kiwi. Here's another one. Let me move my stop to break even. Okay? I'll zoom in a little bit more. Come on, Bubba. Okay? So what did I do? Oh, makes sense. Okay. Okay, this is Sunday. This is today. Boom. Bought it right off the top. Easy, man. Easy. So let's look at these two. The Euro trade. I want to zoom in a little bit. When did I buy it? At the open. Okay, great. This one. When did I buy it? At the open. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Huh? Aye? You see it? Take a look at Aussie. Let's change this to day trading. Day trading bullish. Okay? Look. 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 Don't turn your back on me. Look, bought it right at the open. Nice. Okay, right here. Boom. Okay. Simple, boring, everyday, bread and butter day trading. Cool. Kitty cat. Let's move this. This is day trading. All right, see my entry? Move my stop to break even. Come on, Bubba. Okay. So this is the market open. Look, I sold it. Nice. See that? You got to know how to trade. Otherwise, there's no hope. What do you think? That is a sell. See? That is a sell. USD CAD, 1 hour, sell. I'll show you. Look, sold it in the first 5 minutes. Boom! Well, it's because of the time, right, Daniel? So you would, if you're trading properly, we should have basically the same trade. Because it's not like I don't have opinion here except for bias. Okay? I sold it at the M3. Yeah, of course. Right? There's no finesse or anything to it. I sold it in the M3. That's how you trade, right? Straight out of the trading course. But yeah, cool. We can look at yens now. Some of you guys are on the yens. Take a look at Aussie. Okay. So what do you think? Huh? You gonna ride that 21? Is that a reset? I don't know. Okay. Okay. So are you building up a similar position? What was your trigger? My daily pivots on straight out of the day trading course. Absolutely straight from the day trading course. It's just it's what I do every day. Okay? Yeah, as Daniel said, just technicals. I already know what, like, I want to buy Aussie yen. You understand, right? That's it. So I look at day trading, swing trading, position trading. So I don't have any like opinions anymore. I just do it at the proper, because now it's just technical analysis. That's the interesting thing though, right? Right? That's the interesting thing. There's no more, right? There's only price and time once you've made the decision. So if I traded this right now, it'd have the right price. I don't know if it's the right time, but I know this zone here is tomorrow's trade. Okay? So I have to decide now, how aggressive am I? Am I going to buy this? This is tomorrow's trade. I might do it now. Right? Cool. Euro yen, take a look at euro yen. Okay, building up a little more support, huh? Oops, that's the wrong one. Building up a little more support. So I wonder if this will develop into a head and shoulders, or at least we'll call it support, because I'm not a bull on euro. I'm a bear on yen. So I'm looking for this, and now I have to trade within that idea. So now I could drop out of the daily and go to a 15-minute chart and look for opportunities to put together that strategy. Okay? Which means I like to buy up, 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 down, down, buy. Up, 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 down, down, buy. And if it goes up, 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 down, 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 I stop, I reset, and look for the next up, but I don't change my opinion. If I think this is going up, it's going up. Maybe not now, but it will. Okay. How do I build my bias? It's 100% central banking policy, and central banks make their policy based on macroeconomics. All right, here's my Kiwi yen. Stop at break even. Okay, so there's my position trade. Inside of this, there's swing trades, and now I have it set for day trading. So, right, here's Friday's entry, here's today's entry, here's tomorrow's entry. Right? Yeah, I can see the other people are answering the question correctly that Pravin had. What do I sell euro or yen? Or euro yen, or do I buy euro yen? That's 100% set by your bias. So, Pravin, in that case, like you're beginner, right? I hope you take this properly, but the first thing I would recommend is you don't trade money. Don't trade real money at all. You can, and then I'd almost recommend you don't even trade a demo account, because you're gonna teach yourself bad habits. So the first thing you're gonna need to learn is, why does a currency cross a border and how does it impact its value? I would start there. I think the best thing to do is start as a clean slate, and then work your way into at what time and what price, because that's just technical analysis. But you have to have a reason for all of this, right? You have to have strategy first, in my opinion. Now, do you have to have strategy? No, you could be all tactics, but then you're always going to be a little late in some circumstances, which will take a reasonable chunk of your profits out, and it'll average out over long periods of time. If you had a conviction towards a bias, then when things sort of get to that point where a pure technician would give back, you would get out and you'd actually trade less and make more money, which is kind of a paradox, but it makes it true. It doesn't mean it's not true, I guess is what I'm also saying. All right, so let's go back into here. Let's go to position trading bullish. So here's my entry at the beginning of the month, and we're just moving back up on pound yen. Isn't it nice? So we talked a lot in the live group about conviction during these pullbacks, right? My most important thing is not being right or wrong. It's that you're learning and you're making decisions, and then you're challenging your decisions, not in a way that you're double guessing yourself, but what can you learn from your experience? What have you learned? What is your takeaway? What will you do next time? Why did it happen this time? What could you have done? So like a lot of people took profit here, which is totally perfect because that's what we projected, 139.27. So if you got out there, awesome. But I want to make sure you have the conviction to get back in. But also notice the actual trend, the actual fundamentals seem to be taking off again. And this is a daily 21 EMA, and it's behaving the way you would expect it. Or you could analyze it this way and say, well, it's a role reversal, and it's behaving as you would expect. Or it's pivot points. It's December pivot points, and it's behaving the way you would expect. Okay? Right? So Daniel says he's on this trade, which is good, but what yields the most pips? Okay? So this is a conservative after the election trade. If you remember, the night of the election, I was up something like 1,000 pips or something. And this is a reload. Like all my trades that we have today, they're all reloads post-election, not pre-election. So going into election, I had 1,000 pips. So now we're here post-election, the day after the election. Great. So the most pips, aka the most money, Daniel, that you could have made is, let's say, this spike, each time taking profit. Okay? And then again, re-entering for the next play. Can you do that? Should you have done it? Would you do it next time? Is that the way you want to trade? Or is that volatility too risky? Like, it's easy to look at it now, but you remember the volatility and the uncertainty. Now, I talked about the likely outcomes, and it played out pretty much the way we had discussed weeks in advance. But now that it's happened, how would you like to handle that? How would you mentor yourself in the future? Because it will happen again, right? How about other people in the chat here? Did you hold over the period? Or did you take profit and re-enter? Or did you take profit and not re-enter? What did you guys do? Jim took a profit and did re-enter. Very good. Gregory held through. Stephen re-entered. Gordon held. On, still holding everything. Very cool. Sophie held. Right on. Jean-Guy re-entered. Guy took profit back in. Very good. Yeah. Dwayne took profit, re-entered. Very good. Very good. Sven still holding. LIBOR. Oh, you held and re-entered. So you doubled in. That's interesting. The only downside to that is if you're wrong, you give everything back very quickly. KG only trades the Aussie dollar. Why? Benjamin, lots of break-even trades. Well, we got to fix that, Benjamin. Wade took profit. Right on. Rogers long since the first day of the month. Very cool. CJ says didn't get in. Yeah, so I immediately would wonder why. So you should ask yourself, you don't have to answer here. That's a long question, but like we were so prepared for all of this. Right? So was it a psych level? Like were you psychologically not there or were you just not ready, willing, and able? Right? I don't know. It'd be interesting. Like it's strange to me, but it should be strange to you too, right? Didn't get in. You're like, really? So I would challenge that, right? I would challenge myself on that. Like, how the heck did you not get any of these, right? Psyched out, building confidence. Yeah. I would suggest maybe the swing trading group. I mean, honestly, I mean, we meet so that we can build confidence together. And you notice a lot of people not only, well, everyone got in, and then many people got back in or took, all this kind of stuff. Like, yeah. Gary says, September taught me to take profit. Yeah, but you got to be careful on that one. Remember, I think Boris had a situation about that in September, remember? And I said, Boris, don't walk away with a lesson learned because it may not be a valid lesson. Like, isolate that as late in a political cycle. That's how you should treat September. But if you treat September 2021 the same as September 2020, I'm highly confident that would be the wrong decision. Even though we're talking like, dude, it's like 10 months away. I understand, but next September will not be like this, the one we just had. Okay? So be careful about the lessons, right? So I remember September went up, hit our profit targets, and then collapsed. Okay, but I don't think you should always do that. Okay? Okay. Yeah, so KG's like, I've been focusing on Aussie for months, but Aussie, I wrote a whole chapter in my book about this, so this is why it catches my eye, KG. If you only trade one pair, in my opinion, you are removing the basis of almost every reason why you should be trading. Like, now you're just you're betting on one horse. And in this case, you're probably trading it both ways too. So like, I feel like you're trading it with a relative strength style without the benefits of relative strength. Because now you're just only got Aussie dollar. And so what do you do when both the Aussie and the US dollar are strong? Or what do you do when both the Aussie and US dollar are weak? I get it. It can be a good pair because there is some sort of inverse relationship between them both. When macroeconomics is good, Aussie dollar will be good and US dollar will be weak. When macroeconomics are bad, then Aussie dollar will weaken and the US dollar will strengthen. So I guess if you had to do that, that would make sense. But why not trade Aussie versus everything that is tradable in positive macroeconomic conditions, or Aussie dollar versus everything that's negatively impacted by bad macroeconomic conditions? Like, why not trade Aussie versus, like, I wouldn't start with the crosses, but I'd start like, why not Aussie dollar, right, versus USD, also Aussie dollar versus Japanese yen, Aussie dollar versus Swiss franc. Now, at least you have three choices because now you can incorporate some relative strength on top of your macro analysis. But I wouldn't isolate them because like 30% of the time it probably doesn't work that well. You know? So I would, yeah, you've been doing, yeah, I get that. And that's one of the best pairs to do long short on Aussie US dollar. I think I would recommend that you expand that a little bit so that you can say, well, today you're going to buy Aussie USD and tomorrow you're going to buy Aussie yen, not because you're diversifying, but because maybe tomorrow Japanese yen is weaker than the US dollar. It's just relative strength-wise a better trade. Okay? So it's not a bad pair. It's a good pair, but you need a little more diversification, I think. But stay in terms of macroeconomics. Okay? I think you could probably at least add Japanese yen and then decide every day which one are you going to trade. Well, of course it does. That's why we have pivots, right? But that makes sense. So open your heart and your mind a little more. You got it, KG. Just I would not isolate so much. Okay? Or like if you did crosses based on relative strength, like if next week the pound just collapses for whatever reason, but generally speaking, the rest of macroeconomics is good, at least you could like buy some Aussie pound as well and take advantage of short-term volatility, but also capture long-term trends. Like, I think you could open up. That's why. So in my book, I talk about becoming a greenback guru, like, because when I first started coaching, people would say, well, Wayne, what currency pair should I focus on? And I'm like, no, you don't focus on Euro USD only. Because some of the time that might be a good trade, but most of the time it's going to be a mediocre trade. So instead, focus on the US dollar or focus on the euro. So now you have dollar versus everything or euro versus everything. But don't isolate yourself on Aussie dollar. So I'd rather you say to me, Wayne, I actually focus on trading only US dollar. Or Wayne, I focus on only trading Aussie dollar. And from there, you always find the best thing in the moment. Okay? Yeah, well, KG, I don't mean like have multiple trades every day. Always every day analyze what the best trading pair of that day is. You know, for example, you want to be short US dollar, let's say. That's fine. But what do you want to buy today? And imagine now instead of one choice, like, do you buy Aussie today? I don't know. But you could look and say, well, maybe I buy a pound. Maybe Kiwi today was better than Aussie, and I can tell you it was. Okay? But if you can only sell a US dollar, then you can say, well, what should I buy today? Pound, euro, Aussie, Kiwi, Noki. I mean, you have gold, oil, because they're priced in dollar. All of a sudden, you have this plethora of choice. Do you know what a plethora is? Yes, Jefe. What is that? Three Amigos? Anyways, so you got it. Relative strength, Benjamin. That's why I have these scans, by the way. Okay? Like you could do like scan pound. And very, very quickly discern. So pound is stronger than dollar. Pound is stronger than euro. This one's not set right. Pound stronger than Norway. Pound stronger than Swissy. Pound stronger than Aussie. So pound is strong. Stronger in everything. Done. See? But if you looked at something else like CAD, slightly different, but slightly the same. Let's see. CAD neutral, CAD weak versus Aussie, but turning, and then USD CAD. So CAD sucks. It's not a very good, right? Pound is stronger than CAD no matter how you look at it. So boom. You see that? Very quickly you can say, I'm not trading CAD, I'm trading pound. Now, how about, so now you can say, well, do you do Aussie over pound? So that's why you look at pound Aussie, and pound is clearly stronger than Aussie. So you just, boom, you're just very quickly, today you're trading pound. Okay? Easy peasy lemon squeezy. But notice though, Notice I'm not making a decision on the US dollar. I'm not making a decision on the Japanese yen. I already know my decision. So right now I'm only looking at, if I'm going to sell the US dollar today, which one am I going to buy? Pound, 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 pound. All of a sudden you're like, good. So pound for the day. Where's the pound for the day? Did I not do pound today? Great, nice. I didn't do pound today, because this one has 426 pips. So I didn't do it. Sucks for me. Shoot. So I didn't do it today. Too bad. I thought I did. Must have been the other account. But anyways, pound is a great trade. Okay. Right on, KG. Take a look at exotics. I almost traded the peso and I walked away. It just wasn't the right price. It had the setup, but it wasn't the right price. And I'm kind of glad I stayed away from it now, just at the New York Open. But I might look at this as a turn, and maybe I sell it. Maybe I sell it. I didn't want to do it yesterday. I almost did, but then I looked at this. I looked at this. This is what I looked at if you don't see it. And I'm like, nah. And I was already short, $5 or $6 pair, so I didn't need a seventh, especially at that price. Okay, and by what I mean by that is technically that I didn't want to sell that price. I just like. Hopefully you can see it. So I walked away and I can see the pullback. But now maybe I sell it later or walk away. I have to make some decisions on that one. Here's Rand. Okay, I set this one up for you back 2 weeks ago. And then here's last week. And now what? Well, I like to sell high. So the highest you could sell this was the market open. So if you're short here, good trade. And that's it. I have nothing else I can do this week until there's a break. Okay? Okay, that's that. There's nothing I can do. Thank you, Gregory. I appreciate you sharing that. I don't know what you guys need or want, so I try to figure it out. Yeah, KG, off the charts with Wayne McDonald. They're very casual, last-minute things because I don't know what the weather's going to be like. I sit outside. I smoke a cigar. Right? So if we gather when we can gather. All right, so that's that. Euros are maybe. I'm more into selling US dollar right now because I have a better reason for it. I don't love euro. I got no love for euro. It's just not what I'm into right now. So we have one. See, the market open was like the only trade you had on USD Mexican peso. Other than that, it's quite mediocre, so I walked. So we did US pivots, we did some commodities, we did Japanese yen. So I guess that's it. I think we covered everything. Y'all, I think I'm wrapping up HBS either today or tomorrow. And then that's going to be done and wrapped and done. So I'm calculating. So what we're looking at is performance analysis and portfolio construction. of different types of asset classes, whether you're a leveraged buyout firm, a distressed firm, global macro firm, merger arbitrage, interest rate arbitrage, market neutral, venture capital, real estate, long short, equity fund. There's even a mid-cap fund that we're analyzing. So all this is kind of being put into now, like, they're not apples to apples. You can't compare these funds together. There's different there's different matrices or different analytics that you'd use to look at whether you should invest into these types of firms or not. So it's kind of interesting, a little mathy sometimes, but I should be able to wrap all of that up, and I guess we got nothing but book club left. And I was really bummed out going online, finding out like most of the books on Amazon that I want to read are 500, 600, 700 pages long. I'm like, really? It takes that long to make a point? Right? Like, really? Because let me tell you, I don't know how many pages are in my book, less than 300, I think, and it took a long time to write. So it seems shocking to me that you need 700 pages to explain, why you should buy or sell something. But then I realized, well, that's why we have a book group. That's why we're going to do this, that we can get together as a team and blow through a 700-page book in a week. Now, I can't read 700 pages in a week. I'm a slow, methodical reader. But as a team, we can bust through it as a team. So I'm looking forward to that. So hopefully you find that a great learning experience as well. So thank you for being on my team. Thank you for being part of the community. Thank you for the positive energy that you share with me and with others in our community. Thank you for the hard work that you put into this every single day. Sometimes it feels awesome, and other days it feels horrible, but that's all about the true Forex lifestyle. This is amazingly fascinating, but you have to do a lot of different types of work. Yes, you have to track ocean temperatures. Yes, you have to predict demand for energy next year. Yes, you have to look at global macroeconomic data, maybe through an MSCI index, and you're reading about that. And yes, you have to download central bank reports and meetings and speeches and stuff. Yes, that's what we do. That's what the Forex trader do. But I think you can also feel that you can grasp this. This is something that you can get. This is something that you can do successfully. And that it's just really a great business opportunity. At the end of the day, it's a business, isn't it? And that this is something that you can do. So, again, thank you for all that positive energy. I think we do something good together, and we make the world just slightly a better place. And I thank you for being in my world. So, peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May our profits be above average. And I'll see you tomorrow, and I'll see you Wednesday. And after that, it's Turkey Day. Cheers.